Hi guys, and welcome back to my Wrong Turn movie reviews, and today we're going to be looking at Wrong Turn 5 Bloodlines from 2012.
Everybody's a suspect!
Coming to get you, Bobber.
What has got Nards?
A group of college students on a trip to the Mountain Man Festival on Halloween in West Virginia encounter a clan of cannibals. Up until this point in the franchise, part 5, I feel like I've been quite lenient with the franchise. There haven't been great movies, but they have had a lot of positives as well. And I think Wrong Turn 5 is the first time that I've got a lot more negatives than the last few movies in the franchise. I'm going to start with the unnecessary sex scenes. Now, I'm not against sex scenes because they're great, but I think that in the Wrong Turn franchise, up until now, the 5th movie in the franchise, they seem to be putting in unnecessary sex scenes just for their audience. They've got their target audience, they know who they're targeting, so that's a positive for them, but it doesn't make the movies any better. It doesn't make the sex scenes any better either, because they're pointless. I mentioned the positives of the previous movies having a unique storyline. This one is very different from that because it doesn't have a unique storyline. It takes different storylines from all the different franchises, different movies in the franchise, and bundles them together. There's one neat thing about it was this Mountain Man Festival, they were all wearing masks of hillbillies, and that makes the hillbillies, the cannibals, able to go out in the open without being caught or seen and spoken about. So I think that was maybe the only positive with regards to the surroundings of the storyline. I'm going to start with the acting, and a lot of you won't like what I'm about to say here, but I think that Doug Bradley, who plays Pinhead in the Hellraiser movies, was the worst thing about this film, and probably the worst actor up until now as well. I've read a few comments with people saying they loved Doug Bradley in this movie, he was the saviour of this movie, but I think he was absolutely awful. I'm from the UK, and you can tell his accent, his American accent, was awful as well. Maybe that had something to do with it, but I think he was just a very poor actor in this film. That doesn't say much though, because I think the rest of the actors in it were bad as well. There's some good standout characters, some good standout actors in the Wrong Turn movies from part 1, 2, 3 and 4, but in this one I couldn't pinpoint anybody who I liked, therefore I didn't care if any of them died. There's been some comedy in the previous Wrong Turn films as well. This one seemed a little too comical. I didn't get behind the comedy in it, I didn't get behind anything, and I think that again is because of the story and the acting. There was one little nice Hellraiser nod though.
Swear to fucking God, you three pinheads.
There was a massacre in 1817, and it's given us more of a backstory behind these cannibals and how they became cannibals and where they lived. We already had a bit of a backstory in part 4 because that was a prequel to the whole franchise, but then we've got this one that gives us more of a backstory, and it almost contradicts the backstory in part 4, but not intentionally, but I think they've accidentally contradicted themselves, not in a majorly bad plot hole, massive plot hole way. I just think too much of a backstory was too much. There's also something that Doug Bradley said in this scene that makes me think that this is also a prequel, even though we've got new technology in the film. We've got new mobile phones, we've got somebody using a new computer, the new Google logo, etc. So it's set in 2012 for definite, but they accidentally made it look like it was a direct sequel to part 4.
You don't live in some goddamn hospital in the middle of nowhere anymore.
This film has one major positive, and I think it was fantastic, and you know what I'm going to say, it's the practical effects. I don't remember seeing any visual special effects in it, and if I did, they didn't look special effects, but most of the practical effects were fantastic, almost to the point they looked too realistic and very disgusting. I noticed a few nods to other movies, not just in the Wrong Turn franchise, but other horror franchises. This one in particular is a nod, I'm assuming, to I Know What You Did Last Summer, and there are other nods to other horror movies which I'll get into next. If this was still a prequel, this looks like a younger version of the original Hillbilly in Wrong Turn 1. This scene also confirms that yes, it's set in 2012, so it's just the storyline that needed a bit more of a tightening up, because it does seem like it is a sequel to the prequel from part 4. You'll notice that Finn Jones from Game of Thrones and Iron Fist makes a cameo appearance. Here's a massive issue that I have. Every character is expendable in the Wrong Turn franchise, and most of the characters do die. Now that is interesting and surprising for a movie that it happens with a one-off. You're like, whoa, everybody died. But the fact that everybody dies in every Wrong Turn movie is not surprising anymore. Because of this, we're not able to latch on to any character because we know their fate already. We know that most of them, if not all of them, are going to die. Not that I was rooting for anyone anyway because I didn't like anyone, but if I did start to like anyone, I didn't feel like I would have that connection because I knew they were just going to die. I did mention that the movie does take inspiration from other horror movies, and one of those movies is Saw. And in fact, I did actually like these two scenes. You've got a scene where there's a man who's tied up in a car, and if the car door opens, his insides get ripped out. I think because of the way it looked, and it looked very realistic, and I think it was done really well. You had another scene with a woman who, if she stands on her heels, then a shotgun goes off in her face. So those are two traps that were really well done and really well set up, but they felt like they were in the wrong movie. Now here's the kicker. The actual main story was to get Doug Bradley out of jail. And that was it. That was the storyline. And I think that a massive plot hole, and I think it is a plot hole, was at the beginning of the film when he gets taken away, his hillbilly kids, or the hillbillies, were there to save him anyway. Why didn't they just save him there? It wasn't because the officers had guns, because there was more guns in the actual jail cell, so I don't think that's the problem. Could it be that they love the chase, they love to go after somebody and kill other people? That's possible. However, Doug Bradley did look a little worried at times because he could have died at any point as well. So I don't think he would have risked his own life just to go to jail, kill people and then get back out again. There's no point. Just kill them all there. So I think the storyline was very loose and lazy, and I think that's one of the major issues that we had with this film. Overall, there was no horror, there was no suspense. All it was eye candy for people who love gore. So what do you guys think of Wrong Turn 5? Please tell me that you have seen it, because I know that it is hard to get through some franchises. I know that a lot of people don't really like the Wrong Turn franchise, but if you have seen it, guys, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of it. As always, thanks a lot for watching, thanks for subscribing. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.